Hi guys, welcome back. So today I want to do a chat spat and I want to talk about this huge thing that's happening with Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star is very controversial. Shane Dawson also says that he is as well. I don't really see him as controversial, but he has had his moments. He has had his drama, I guess you could say. But when it comes to Jeffree Star, he's like 24/7 scandals, drama, just bluntness. So Shane Dawson has done an exposing Jeffree Star kind of series. As far as I know, it is a 5-episode kind of series type thing. And I want to discuss it. I want to know your guys' thoughts. So if you're interested in that, then let's just get into it.
I don't want to fight no more. I know.
Now, Jeffree Star has been blowing up. His channel, his beauty channel, has been increasingly growing. He has surpassed all of his supposed friends. They're no longer friends. We know that. That's obvious. They're never seen together. He's never has anything good to say about them. They're no longer friends. And he can't seem to keep friends to save his life. Now, he's had controversies with Kat Von D, with Too Faced. I mean, with who hasn't he had an issue with at this point? That is the question. Now, Shane made a video with him. They kind of collaborated, which I would have been like, why to begin with, because Shane doesn't really fit into the beauty world at all. But I love Shane. I love him. I adore him so much. I am a huge fan and I constantly watch him. So I was cool with it. I was like, all right, you know, I understand it. I understand them wanting to collaborate. And it was okay. You know, it wasn't a huge, oh my God, you know, like it was amazing, but it was entertainment. So I didn't mind that. And so when they came back and started collaborating again, I wasn't really shocked, but I was interested in what they were going to do. So when this whole thing came out with exposing Jeffree Star, he was going to make this huge installment, this 5-episode kind of thing where he was going to open up Jeffree Star's secrets and his world and show us a little bit more into that. I was honestly intrigued. I was intrigued because I'm not a huge supporter of Jeffree, but I'm also not a Jeffree basher. I know that in front of the camera, people see about 10%, and then with that 10%, there's only about 1% truth, and people take that 1% truth and they twist it however they want to. So I know that he has had his faults, and they're on camera, and there's no denying that, and there's no excusing it or defending it, you know. But is that the person that we're dealing with today? Has he changed? You know, and it's your choice whether or not you want to say that he's ever forgivable, that he'll ever change, that you believe he's changed. That is a person-to-person opinion and choice, and we have to respect that by what you guys feel. Me personally, I am the type of person who sees that people can make mistakes, learn from them, and change, because I'm one of them. Now, when it comes to Jeffree and his racism, so to speak, I do not believe that Jeffree Star is racist. I believe that he has done racist things in the past because in the past that's the world that he lived in, and he had to have that wow factor, and it was disgusting. You know, like the way that the world works now, that is so beyond not acceptable, even in a joking manner, even in a that's how drags were perceived manner. You know, it's just not acceptable these days. So people see that now from way back in his past, and they're like, oh my God, he's a horrible person. I don't see that from him now. And when he talked about it in a video, I saw the hurt in his eyes. And it could have been an act. Who knows? I don't know him. This is just how I feel about it. This is just what I'm seeing and how I'm perceiving it. I think that he does a lot of things for people of color. He has them in his campaigns. He hasn't had any other kind of scandals or drama to that effect. But I also see other behavior from him that I don't care for. And with this Shane Dawson and Jeffree kind of expose, the first episode, the first video really was lackluster for me. It just kind of showed how much money Jeffree has, and not so much how much money, but how much stuff. Like how much materialistic things he has. And it really showed Jeffree in this kind of diva light. And it was weird. You know, I really liked the video of Shane Dawson and Jeffree going to Walmart, and, you know, and Shane making Jeffree come back down off the high horse, off the tree, and, you know, just see how normal people live. And it's weird because Shane is not even what I would consider a normal person, because he comes off like he's poor and he dresses like he's poor, or not even poor, but just like even middle class, and he's not. he's rich as well. So I'm kind of like, you know, I sit there and I'm like, I don't understand this from Shane's perspective, but I still love it because I relate to Shane, and Shane was trying to get Jeffree to relate to him. And so there is a huge difference between Shane and what he wears versus Jeffree and what he wears. So I really liked that video. I found it very entertaining. But with this other video, it just kind of showed all of Jeffree's materialistic stuff. It made Jeffree seem like this diva. You know, he was like, oh, I don't care about that. Oh, that was only 125 grand. You know, and the way that he came off, it didn't seem like it was going to paint him in a very good light. And I saw that with a lot of people's reactions. I saw a lot of my YouTuber friends just being like, this is crap. I don't support him. You know, he's even worse now in my eyes. And I couldn't help but agree. You know, the way that first episode started out, it just was not a good look. It really wasn't. And then you jump to this latest one where it got more emotional. It got more raw. They talk about Jeffree's like sexualism, you know, where they have threesomes and things like that. They talk about all of the other things that Jeffree does for income, all of his other businesses, exactly how large they are. Now, the one thing that I didn't understand in this was so many people seemed so shocked that Jeffree had this huge warehouse, that he has all of these other warehouses, that he ships other people's merch, you know, that he does all of this stuff, but I already knew that. So I know that he's talked about it before in videos on his Snapchat. I know he has, because I already knew all of that. It wasn't a shock to me. You know, so I'm still sitting here waiting for the real, like, what's the real exposing? You know, when is that going to happen? Where's the real tea, so to speak? Because everything that they've said so far is not surprising. We all knew that Jeffree makes hundreds of millions of dollars. We already knew that his business was already so big that that's the life that he lives. We already knew that he was dripping in gold and diamonds and Gucci. We already know these things, you know. The one thing that he did touch on that I got very interested in related to Jeffree and started to really feel for him in this was when he started to talk about his family. When he started to talk about when he started to gain success, how his friends and family just decided that they were entitled and owed things. And I really, really related to that on maybe a different scale of a level, but almost the same level that he was talking about. And that's where things have been starting to change for me with how I feel about Jeffree. Now, I've never disliked him. I've always loved his videos. I thought he was very innovating and he went out of the box. I always thought he was very truthful and honest, but I always also thought that if someone constantly losing friends and someone is constantly in drama, can it always be other people's problem? Can it always be other people's fault? And that's where I was at. But the more and more I'm starting to see these videos, I'm starting to see that maybe it is. You know? And I know that Jeffree gives back to charities. I know that even though he has all of these materialistic things, and they're art to him, and they're investments to him, that they also don't mean a lot. Because he cares more about other things. That's why he burns them, cuts them, throws them around, you know? Like, yeah, to us, it's like, oh, what are you doing? You know, you're burning or cutting or throwing something away that is more than my car costs or more than my mortgage payment, you know? And to us, that's insane, but we don't live that life. You know, we don't know. We don't know how we would act if we had as much money as he would. So I don't really like to judge him in that sense. But I am really hoping that within this series, they're going to expose a little bit more. Because I'm not getting anything that is telling me something I don't already know. You know, I want to know inside of Jeffree. I want to know the deep down secrets that make him him. And I want to know what happened with him and Manny and Laura. And I don't think that we're going to find those out because I think that it's a legal thing. I don't think he can legally tell us. They're not going to sit there. And Shane's definitely not going to do this because this collaboration is helping Shane out as much as it's helping Jeffree. They're not going to sit there and do something that is going to really tarnish Jeffree's reputation. That can really hurt him legally. You know, so I don't think that we're going to get what a lot of people are looking for within this series. And it's just... it's a little bit of a letdown because I do hope that maybe Jeffree will open up and Shane will dig a little bit deeper as this goes on, because right now it's entertaining, but I see all of these people fawning all over it like, oh my god, I watched every second, I was at the edge of my seat, this is so amazing, I never knew this about Jeffree, this is another side of him. And for me, I'm sitting here like, I know all of this, this is not a shock, this is not surprising. I need to be able to relate a little bit more. I need to know a little bit more. And if you're going to do a series like this where you're really going to open up someone's life and crack that nut, I want to see what's inside fully. I don't want to just peek inside. I want to see what's inside fully. I want to know things that I've been asking as someone who sat here and watched them for years. You know, I want more. And I'm hoping that we get that. But so far, I think that this is shedding a better light on Jeffree than the first episode of it, because I don't think that made him look very good. But I'm hoping that maybe it will make people who really dislike him just maybe give him a little bit more of leeway, you know, of maybe, you know, a little bit more understanding, because I think that's what we need, especially in the beauty community, is a little bit more understanding towards each other. And I'm also wondering if now that Shane has done this, how many other beauty gurus are going to be out there trying to expose themselves, because as we have seen, Jeffree was very honest and truthful and blunt about a lot of stuff, and that's what's gotten him into a lot of drama. And now all of a sudden all of these YouTubers are coming out with, oh, I'm depressed, oh, I have anxiety, better help sponsor, better help sponsor, better help sponsor. But everybody wants to be truthful and honest now. And you know, I also know that they're only doing it for views, so what we're getting is not exactly truthful and honest. They're just being a little bit more blunt about things that they normally would have dialed down. So I really don't believe in that. I believe in Jeffree 100% more than I do these other beauty gurus who are doing this, because Jeffree, that's just him. That's his everyday. These people are only doing it for views. You know, so I try to keep that in perspective, and I wonder if now that Jeffree has done this with Shane, if more of the beauty YouTubers or larger YouTubers are going to jump on this train and also start exposing their lives. But how real is it really going to be? Because I don't think that anyone will get as real as Shane and Jeffree will in this series. So I want to know what you guys think about this series. If you think that it's going to make a difference for you with how you feel about Jeffree, I really want to know. I mean, this is such a huge series. People all across the board, all across the communities are watching and tuning in. It's a really big thing, and I'm excited for Jeffree to gain a little bit more understanding from people, but I'm so excited for Shane. You could tell that Shane was in such a hard spot. He was in kind of like a ditch. He was low. He wasn't feeling the material he was making. He was in a rut, and it's like he's blossomed, and he's blossomed in such a constructive and positive way, because now he's gaining views and subscribers and brand deals, and he's happy. You can tell he is so happy with what he's making, but he's also helping other YouTubers do the same thing. Who can say that? There are not many larger YouTubers out there these days who are willing to even shout someone else out. So I'm so happy for Shane, and I just want to know what you guys think about Jeffree Star. Are you mad that he's even doing this with him? No matter what they show, will you not forgive him for his actions? Or is this helping you to have a little bit more understanding towards Jeffree and maybe be a little bit more opened up to him? I really want to know your guys' opinions. Leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts, what you're thinking. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and you want to see more chat spats. Subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Would you throw stepping out of